A woman is recovering at a hospital in northern Maine after authorities say she was accidentally shot in the knee while bird hunting Saturday afternoon in the town of Hamlin. According to the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, 31-year-old Amber Oakes was a passenger in a side-by-side driven by 31-year-old Danielle Fernald of Freeport. When they stopped, Fernald reached in to get her loaded gun. As she was removing it, wardens say she bumped the butt of the gun against the roll case of the side-by-side, causing her hand to hit the trigger. A round of birdshot went into Oakes' left knee. She underwent surgery at Cary Medical Center to clean the wound.